Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. I haven't done a color and chat in so long, so I thought, why not? So how do these work? If you're new to my channel, basically I am just going to talk about a specific topic that I've chosen, and I am going to keep the coloring, slow it down a little bit, but not totally in real time usually. But I'm not going to be talking about what I'm doing in the video. I'm not going to be building a card with you necessarily and walking you through it. It really is just color and me chatting. So a couple things. If you do not want to hear me, but you want to watch the coloring, just mute me, put on some music, and have a grand old time. Otherwise, hang out with me if you want to check out what I'm talking about. You know, it's usually earth-shattering stuff here, folks. No, okay. So my topic that I wanted to kind of dive into today had to deal with why I am not responding to negative comments or seemingly negative comments on my channels. Because I do have two YouTube channels. I have this crafting one, and then I have one called Live Well. Side note, so we know the topic, I'll get into that in a second, but side note, I recently just registered and became an LLC for my business called Live and Lead Well. And so I'm so excited about that, and I probably should have led with that because you all have been so supportive in all aspects of my life. And so I wanted to just thank you for all your encouragement and your love and all the support. It really has transferred to me in such an amazing way. So thank you for that. So what is Live and Lead Well? Basically, I am formally trained in, when it comes to my degrees and experience in leadership development. So I could build curriculum and I could go out and teach organizations, how to lead, basically, different categories. I'm building up a catalog right now of different courses I'm building in the way of leadership. So formally and expertise-wise, that's it, leadership development. But I'm being pulled very strongly in the niche of personal growth and development, and this has been extremely rewarding and something that I've had a lot of revelation and aha moments in, and I share a lot of that on my Live Well Instagram and my Live Well YouTube channel. And so I want to also, I'm going to be developing some digital courses online that people can take at their leisure in the way of personal growth. And I'm also going to be, doing speaking engagements and really just in-person seminars also. So that's all in the works. But anyway, just registered. So excited. 2023 is really starting off just amazingly. It's almost been a year since I left my full-time government active duty job and in the Air Force. And all last year, I was a contractor for an organization that was doing leadership development training online. And it was just the right position for me as I transitioned out. And then I started to feel that I was being pulled in different directions. And so I really wanted to just take this year to leap, bet on myself, do all the things that are fun. And so, I'm just really feeling inspired. And I haven't felt that way in probably the last 10 years of my career that I had. And so it's just been really a wonderful transition. Scary, yes, but everything I want is on the other side of fear. So I just have to go right through it. And so I have been, and yay. All right, so that's out of the way. Let's talk now about what I want to discuss with regard to why I'm not going to respond to negative comments. Now, no one asked me this question. I'll be completely honest with you. No one said, hey Mary, why didn't you go after that person that came for you on your YouTube channel? No one's asking, but I felt like it's a topic I wanted to talk about because I think there's like this evolution, this sort of layering when it comes to where you're at with people's negativity. Now, just because I'm on YouTube, I have two channels on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, just because you put yourself out there, I am not part of the people who subscribe to, well, you put yourself out there, you got to be ready for the criticism. I don't subscribe to that only because I don't feel like that should be part of the game. It's like, well, you work a full-time job outside the house, so you better be ready for criticism from your boss and from your coworkers. That's sort of saying the same thing. Like, putting yourself out there does not mean that you automatically have to be prepared or that you should take it lying down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What it does mean for me is when you decide to open yourself up to a larger audience, when you take the leap that you have a message you want to share, you have some of your artwork that you want to create with people or for people or whatever, when you take that leap and you do it, I think that there is an element of people who are not going to, it's not going to resonate with them, right? And that is something that for yourself, I think you should prepare for so that you're not wasting energy and time on what other people's opinions are. So I think that is something that we all can prepare for, but that's not exclusive to having an online presence. That is everybody in all walks of life. And so that message, meaning, there are going to be people, no one that has ever existed has had 100% of the people they came in contact with or that they knew love them, like them, their message resonated. It's just an impossibility, right? You could think of we think the greatest leaders, the greatest saints, the greatest, whatever, and there's still going to be people that were like, nope, they weren't for me. So if that's a fact, if we know that that's a reality, then why waste time and energy on trying to get that person to like us or to prove that we're right to that person? It is a complete waste of time. And so like I said, going back, is sort of like this evolution of where you land on how you're going to deal with people in your life. And so I used the comment section as sort of a segue into really the message for all of us, which is we really have to just stop engaging when it comes to people who are quote unquote coming for us. Now, I can say that I'll just talk about, I've gotten comments on my video that ranged from just really, really mean to funny, even though I think they're trying to be mean. I found them funny. But recently I got one, I did an organization video, and I got one, and she was so offended by the fact that I showed these organizational tips. I don't know why. I'm not in this woman's life. I have no idea what triggered her to just go off on her keyboard and lay into the video, because it wasn't me. She doesn't know me. It's not a personal attack. Go off on the video about how disappointed she was of what I was doing, right? And so I'm reading this comment, and I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, what is going on in this woman's life that a YouTube video about organizing craft supplies has made her so irate? It can't possibly be a YouTube video about craft supplies. So that was my first thought. And yes, listen, I'm not here to blow smoke. I had about 5 responses go through my head, right? Yeah, I could probably say a lot of things. I could maybe even say something that could change her mind and make her not want to comment on videos like this. I might be able to. I might have that kind of influence. In the past, I think that I've tried, to say things that allowed people for an opportunity to have a different perspective and just kind of open their mind a little bit. And I think that when we have that opportunity, we absolutely should take it. But I also feel like that's a personal choice. And if, not that I'm going to ignore all comments, but things like this that obviously have nothing to do with Mary, I don't want to engage, because I don't even want to add to the plate of what's obviously already pretty full for this woman. And if she's looking for an internet argument or an internet fight, I'm just not gonna be the one to do it. And I'm sure that she's out there commenting on other people's videos. But for me, again, personal choice, I'm not gonna engage. I just don't want to. I just, bless and release. I wish her well, and I'm not gonna get involved. And so then I started thinking about that as I'm reading this comment and going through the process of thinking about all these things. And I'm like, I really feel like that is translatable to every other relationship, encounter, whatever in our lives. There are lots of people that will, and especially the closer the relationship, they know what buttons to push. They know what's going to get you amped up. Whether it be people you've been raised with your whole life, or relationships that you're in romantically, friends that you've had, like people who are not positive, who are not trying to uplift, they know what buttons to push. And I have fallen into that trap way too many times. And so I'm evolving out of that. I don't want to even try to prove that I'm right anymore. I am just going to allow people to think what they're thinking and move on. I have so many things I want to do in this life. And I truly believe that we have a finite amount of energy. And when I don't mean that it can't be, resupplied, right? I don't mean that. I mean, just take for the day, for instance. If you took an inventory, this is actually a concept for a book that I'm writing, but if you took an inventory of your energy for the day and you said, okay, what's the output and what's the input? Now, the input is anything in your life that actually you gain energy. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but you gain energy from that. So let's say, for example, what are something? Sleep. Sleep is going to allow you to gain energy, right? Healthy, good quality sleep. Good nutritious food. That's a positive, right? That's going to help you gain energy. Maybe when you do your crafts, that helps you gain energy. Like, where are the things that are adding to your positive surplus? And then you take an inventory of where are the things that are the negative. And they can be plentiful as well. There's a lot out there that can suck energy from us. So for example, you might be on social media just scrolling through other people's lives and missing your own. That's a waste of energy, right? You might be getting caught up in the comparison game. That's an output. You might have relationships in your life that suck you dry emotionally. And because you talk to this one friend and everything she talks about is just how her life is in shambles. Energy, right? Like everything is energy. And so when you start looking at this inventory and you say, man, where's all this energy going? And you get honest with yourself. Like I got honest with myself. And I said, what do I want to put my energy towards? And why do I feel it necessary for me to have a surplus, like an abundance of energy that I can pull from? Because there are things in our life that require energy unexpectedly. If maybe there's a loved one that becomes ill, or ourselves become ill, or maybe not even just the way of that, but there's extra work that has to be done at work that you want to do. Like, there are lots of reasons to have a surplus of energy. So that is really what I started to do, is I really started to get honest with where I was expending this energy, and then made a choice. I made a very clear commitment to myself that said, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. And I'm not going to worry about the quote unquote backlash, because 10 times out of 10 for me, there hasn't been any backlash. And maybe if there has been backlash, I haven't noticed because I don't care. So I think that is like one of the most liberating things that I have come to realize and that I could share. It just is not worth your time or your energy. But, it's easier said than done. And I get that, especially with those relationships, whether it's like work relationships or friendships or whatever, that you feel like you don't want to be mean, or you don't want to be rude, or you don't. But I feel like that you really need to start understanding your choice in not wanting to be mean and letting people cross over your personal boundaries consistently. And what is that doing to you? And how is that affecting your life? It was affecting me. Well, I know I've shared this multiple times, but it affected me because I hit rock bottom. I was doing it consistently over and over for decades of my life. And finally, my whole system just shut down. Depression, anxiety, cognitive inability. Like, I just completely shut down because I had continued that cycle of no personal boundaries. All the time. I just no personal boundaries when it came to other people's opinions and this, the ladder I was chasing and all the things. Like, I'm not going to go into that. I have other videos if you're interested in hearing that whole story. But I think that is a really, really important thing to understand. So, tying this back into the title of this video, why I'm not responding to negative comments anymore, because they fall into the category of it's not worth my energy. It's just not. Now, I need to say, if there is something that if it's something egregious and bullying, I likely will just delete it. Like, no one else needs to see that. But, if it's something that I could respond to easily, maybe sometimes, because you remember, we are on text. There is no tone of voice. So sometimes I think people say something that could be construed as rude or negative, and really they're just making a statement, or maybe they struggle with filters and they just say what they mean. And, so those kinds of things, I always offer grace, because I don't know what the tone of voice is. But ones that are like looking to come for me on YouTube, on a crafting video, like, no. It's just, we're taking a trip to Nobesville. All right, so that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope this was helpful at all. I don't know if it was, but it was really fun to talk to you regardless. I always love hearing you from in the comment section. So if you tell me your thoughts on this, what are your lessons learned? What do you struggle with? Just feel free to throw it in the comment section. We can chat about it. And your messages could definitely help others. I always want to encourage anyone watching my videos, check out the comment section, because you all share the most amazing things in the comment section. So I would love to do that. If you feel so compelled to share, feel free to thumbs up this video if you liked it, share it with a friend if you think it could help them, and subscribe to the channel if you're interested and you don't want to miss anything from me. I will see you in the comments down below and in the next video. Bye-bye.